Seattle lost again on Sunday, and now on Thursday Night Football, their road favorite at San Francisco. We'll talk with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com to make heads or tails of this line. I'm Peter Loshak. You're watching SBR Videos. Joe Duffy, Seattle looking pretty vulnerable in general, right? And here they're actually getting bet up. They opened at about 4.5. Now they're up to a 5.5 or 6 at San Francisco. I can understand why that would be, right? They're a kind of, a pissed off quality team, so maybe they'll bounce back quickly on the short week and get a margin win. Also, the running game seems to have an advantage for them. Marshawn Lynch is back while Carlos Hyde appears to be pretty banged up for San Francisco, and on the short week that might become more of a factor. Still, though, Seattle, considering how they're playing, giving 5.5 or 6 points seems like a lot, doesn't it?
It does. Obviously, the Super Bowl hangover does seem to be applicable this year. It's happened many times. Teams that are the runner-ups, especially in the Super Bowl, they often follow up with a dud year, and that's been the case with Seattle. However, before a lot of you say that the home dog is the obvious play, keep in mind teamless that are winless on the road. That is, Seattle has not won a road game straight up this year, and it's game 6 or later, but they're still posted as road favorites. A pretty impressive 19-4 against the spread since 2007. But then again, on the other hand, the home team is 5-1 straight up in each one of these teams' games, which I'll do the basic math for you. That's a combined 10-2 the home team is straight up in these two teams' games this year. But at the same time, is Seattle really that bad? Remember, their 4 losses were at St. Louis, a very improved St. Louis team, at Green Bay, Cincinnati, and Carolina. That's 3 of the 5 undefeated teams in the NFL, and 2 of the 3 teams with 6 wins. A couple of them have just 5 wins because of buys. So Seattle, people say that your record is what it says it is, but Seattle's really had a very tough schedule so far. The Niners have averaged 26 points per game the last 2 after averaging 12 in the first 4. So they are in the upswing. But if anything, I think maybe the better play here, play for the purposes of this video, probably the under. I have my doubts whether San Francisco has shown the ability to maintain their offense, their offensive prowess. And Seattle is at their best when they're keeping the defense off of the field. Remember, their defense, they've blown leads quite a few. Each of the last 2 weeks, they've blown big leads, and they've actually had fourth quarter leads in each of their 4 games. So I think especially with Lynch back, and then they now have a great 1-2 punch at running back, a look for Seattle to do what they were successful doing to keep the defense off of the field. And Colin Kaepernick's playing a little bit better, but he's still most dangerous when he can keep the defense honest with his legs. So these are still, I know Jim Harbaugh is long gone, but I still think San Francisco is built a little bit better to also keep the defense off of the field. So probably the under is the better play.
All right. Well, right now the total's 41.5, and I just think it's very telling when you said, is Seattle really that bad? Well, when you're talking about a team where you're wondering whether they're actually that bad or not, and they're giving 5.5 or 6 on the road, if this were a pick'em game or -1 or something like that, maybe I'd lean towards Seattle. But it just feels like 5.5 or 6 points is a lot of points to be giving, right, Joe?
It definitely is, and as I said, San Francisco is playing a little bit better. Of course, 2 games ago they were pretty competitive in a loss, and they're finally off of a win. But I still think a lot of people think that the San Francisco 49ers are that bad, despite the upset that they had, or despite the impressive effort that they had last week. So there's an old adage that listen to what the odds makers are telling you, and you're right. If you look at purely the straight up numbers, the San Francisco would seem to be a very live home underdog. But again, Seattle, I think the reason that some people are saying, is Seattle that bad, is because it's not like they've been getting beat by the little sisters of the poor. They've been losing to quality teams.
All right, but sounds like you're liking the under 41.5 enough to give it officially for Thursday night, Joe?
Sure, we'll give it as an official pick. I do think both of these teams will kind of return to the roots. Not that Seattle's completely abandoned it, but both of these teams were the most successful when they were ball control and defensive oriented. So I look for this to be a pretty conservative game plan from both sides. So I will go with the under as the official pick for the purposes of this video.
Okay, 41.5. Joe Duffy's website, of course, OffshoreInsiders.com. How's everything going over there at this point in the season, Joe?
It's been a magic carpet ride. It's been great from day one, and we're in a nice run right now. 7-3 with Wise Guy plays. That includes a little bit in baseball, plus 140. But most importantly, we had some Game of the Year plays on New Orleans in an absolute rout on Thursday. Also, our Pac-12 Game of the Year, Stanford in a rout on Thursday, and then our Big Ten game of the year on Iowa also in a laugher. Great. If you've been waiting until we're red hot before you jump on the big bandwagon, now is the time. Joe Duffy's picks at offshoreinsiders.com.
Wow. Congratulations, Joe. Thanks so much.